Yeah, I know what you're thinking. First thing you want to see from me is my ass, right? Anyways, hi. I kind of feel like I need some kind of hello, better than a hi. Let me try a couple of it on you guys. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is... okay. Let's try another one on you. Hello, retro gamers and collectors. Old school... okay. Got one more for you guys. Hey folks! 60... wait. I'm just gonna say hi. I know a lot of people have kind of asked me what I look like, and a lot of people have actually even met me, so, for me to hide behind a camera, and, nowadays it just seems kind of silly. So, I figured, I might as well try it out in front of the camera and see how it goes, right? I will say, though, that I probably will be speaking a little bit better, because the way I used to film my old videos is I'd be bending over, and I'd be compressing my lungs. So, hopefully I speak a little bit better now. We'll see. Still a little awkward, I gotta admit that, but whatever. I did some garage sailing this weekend. And picked up quite a few things. I just wanted to share it with you guys. So, first garage sale I went to, I actually went to two others prior to this one here. And, first two I struck it at. The third one I went in and, I asked the family that was running it, do you have any video games, blah blah blah. They basically said no. And then this guy comes running out of nowhere. Oh wait, I got video games in the car, come look in my car. And I walked over and he goes, the least I can do on these is $5 a game. So initially I'm thinking, great, $5 a game at a thrift store. Sorry, at a garage sale. I'm used to saying thrift stores. But I went through everything and I came out with a pretty big bag of games. And what I did is I basically said, you know what, you want $5 a game, what if I buy the whole bag off you, what would you do for it? So $5 a game ends up being 80 bucks. I offered him 50, he countered with 60, I said fine. So, yeah, I bought the bag for 60 bucks. Why don't we go through it? Very first game is Star Fox. Next up, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which is definitely worth, a good half of what I paid. Next up, Mortal Kombat 2. This is something I've been looking for a while, because I do have the box. It's actually sitting over there, so forgot to bring it over here, whatever. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 2, now I have it complete in box. Next up is Street Fighter 2. I believe I have this complete in box already, somewhere back there. Next up, gotta have Super Mario World. Next is Jurassic Park. I kind of looked up a review on this and it basically said the outside levels are good, but the inside levels suck. So I may try it out and just kind of see how it goes. Next up, Terminator 2, T2, the arcade game. I don't have this one either. Spider-Man and X-Men, the arcade, what the hell do they call this thing? Arcade's Revenge. Next up, another one that I'm kind of happy to see in there is Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. And the last Super Nintendo game was Batman Returns. So, this one's actually really good. It's a side-scrolling brawler, kind of like Streets of Rage. Next up, there's one N64 game in there, and it was Doom 64. then there was also a stack of Nintendo games, all with their slip sleeves and all that. First up is Star Tropics, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, Bubble Bobble, what I'm actually going to be keeping is Dragon Warrior. And lastly, Faxanadu. Now, like I said, it was $60 for everything in the bag, and definitely think that was worth it. So I left my number with him. He said he had a bunch of other stuff he was thinking of selling, and he still had to go through it. I know from experience that that means I probably won't hear back from him again, but you never know, right? Next, I went to, they had PS2 and PS3 games for sale, a bunch of Wii games too, which really weren't worth it. They ended up wanting $5 for each PS3 game and $2 for all the PS2 games. So I grabbed 4 games, 2 PS2 and 2 PS3, and I said, we just take 10 for all 4, and the lady said fine. So very first game here is Ico and Shadow of the Colossus collection. Dante's Inferno, which is actually something I was looking to play, so glad to find this. Another copy of Medal of Honor, European Assault. These games are fun. I don't know why people don't like them. And lastly, Star Ocean Till the End of Time. And I'll say that I messed up on this one. I do this a lot, as you guys probably know by now. I actually did look at it, and that's what I saw. Missing the manual, I knew that. I saw this, and that's Star Ocean right there, right? Then I looked at this, and I'm like, okay, it's Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. For some reason I thought it was a one-disc game. I should have known better. It even says on the back, special 2-disc DVD collection. So I got in the car and I started thinking about it. Why is there room for 2 discs in this thing? And I took a look at this disc again, a little bit closer. And I noticed it said disc 2 on it. So, I messed that one up. Those things happen though. And you know what, still for $10, it's definitely, I think, a good deal. I did some garage selling this morning too. And this lady actually just opened up her garage sale Sunday morning instead of Saturday morning, so I have no idea why she did that. But I had been messaging her because what I do is I go through Kijiji ads, and everyone who's having a garage sale who doesn't list video games, I email them. I say, hey, do you have any video games? I'm looking for this, this, and this. And most of the time I get back a no. This lady, she responded and said, yeah, I have Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation. I have all this stuff that's just sitting here, and she forgot about it. So she sent me a picture of 4 systems and 3 games. And she said, what are you willing to pay for this? She said there's 14 games in total, but she only showed 3. The one game I saw was Mario Kart 64, so because of that I actually threw out an offer of $10 for each system and $3 a game, which I think is a little bit high for a garage sale. So basically that ends up being about just a little bit over $80. She shot back a counter offer of $60. I don't know why. She did. So I said sure, not knowing what the other games are. She initially said there was 14 games. Then she went through it and she said there were 11. So even at 11 games for 60 bucks with 4 systems, I thought that was still a good deal. She never sent me a picture of it though. So she said, oh, I have these PS2 games too, and she sent me a picture of the PS2 games, and the PS3, and the PS1 games. But she never sent me like the Nintendo or the Genesis stuff, N64 stuff. She never sent me pictures of those. So I was kind of going in blind on that one. I went to her house this morning, and I was pleasantly surprised. Not overly surprised, but whatever. I basically came back with this big box here, full of stuff. And we'll go through it. First thing, actually I already took all this stuff out just to make it a little easier. But here's all the controllers, cords, light gun. The N64 came with 2 controllers, as you can maybe see. Both have tight joysticks, so I'm happy with that. I will have a fun afternoon untangling those. So getting into the actual systems and games. First system up is a Nintendo 64. This one does not have the expansion pack. It has a jumper pack, but no expansion. Next up is PlayStation 1. I really don't need this, and this will be probably sold really, really cheaply just to get rid of it as quickly as possible. Next up is a very dirty Sega Genesis. When we were going through all the cables, and believe me, we went through all the cables, she was missing the power supply to this, which really isn't a big deal. I think I have an extra one in the next room, but for some reason she couldn't find it. She said she had another box full of stuff that she hasn't gone through, so she said she may get a hold of me, and you know how that stuff works out. So Sega Genesis Model 2. And the last system is a very dirty NES. It did have a game inside, which I think she forgot about, and it's Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. Now we can get into the games. Let's see how we can do this. Oops. Very first game here is Pac-Man. Someone wrote on the label, DS. Whatever. It's not that big a deal to me. I don't even know if I'm going to keep this one. Next up, Dr. Mario. Bugs Bunny and Crazy Castle. These all look like they're former rentals, if you can see from the back and the front. Super Mario Brothers 3. Actually, this wasn't even shown in the picture, so go figure. And the last NES game is Tiny Toon Adventures Trouble in Wacko Land, or Wackland, I don't know. And this again was a rental at Rogers Video. Getting into the Nintendo 64 stuff, there is Mario Kart 64. Ready to rumble boxing. And Diddy Kong Racing. For the Sega Genesis, there is Crusty Super Funhouse. There's also Beauty and the Beast, Belle's Quest. This one's actually complete. You may be laughing about this one, but look it up on Price Chart. This goes for 13 bucks. I don't plan on keeping it, I'll tell you that much. There's also a Game Genie in there. So, I have one of these, complete in box. I really don't need this. The one Super Nintendo game. No, it's not a Super Nintendo, never mind. So those were the 11 games that she initially showed me. I had her throw in a couple extras, mainly because we had agreed on 14 games for $60, and there's a couple of PlayStation games I was looking at. So, first one is Rayman. Next one is Spyro, Year of the Dragon. And lastly, Batman Rise of the Sin Tzu. I really don't know much about this there. I looked at it, it's mint condition, and that's the only reason I went for it. All the other games I really had no interest in. They had all sports games, and this was the only other game that kind of piqued my interest. So, for all that, I paid $60. And I now have a lot of cleaning and untangling to do. So I guess I'll get at it, right? Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, it was my first garage sale this season. I know it's late, but, you know, I really didn't have much going on this weekend, so I figured, what the hell, I'll give it a try and see what happens, and came up with quite a bit of stuff. In total, I paid $130 for everything. I should easily make that back. So, anyways, looking forward to everyone else's videos, and until next time, take care.